Farming and livestock industries provide access to food, empower communities, and help lift people out of poverty worldwide. The world's population is expected to increase to nearly 10 billion people by 2050, with a corresponding increase in food production needed to feed all of these people. Yet, with great power comes great responsibility. A forgotten gas, the impact of nitrous oxide and how it can be mitigated. Increasingly, farmers are looking at the environmental impact of this increased production and how they can mitigate any adverse effects, such as greenhouse gas emissions. Agricultural greenhouse gas emissions are mostly methane or nitrous oxide. This video will look at nitrous oxide, what it is and how farmers can reduce its emissions or mitigate its effects. Nitrous oxide is a greenhouse gas that has a significant global warming impact. Like carbon dioxide and methane, atmospheric concentrations of nitrous oxide have continued increasing since the 1700s, mirroring global agricultural expansion. Nitrous oxide, while emitted in much smaller quantities than carbon dioxide, has a much more powerful warming effect. And as a result, nitrous oxide emissions account for around 6 to 12% of the global temperature increase since pre-industrial times. Nitrous oxide is mainly produced by ruminant animals excreting excess nitrogen from plant proteins in their urine. As fertilizer use has increased, production from livestock has boomed. A cattle urine patch results in a concentrated area of nitrogen that can contain the equivalent of up to 1,000 kilos of nitrogen per hectare. For comparison, fertilizer application rates are typically 30 to 50 kilos of nitrogen per hectare. Once it is excreted by an animal, there are several possible pathways for the nitrogen. It can be absorbed by plants and used by soil organisms. It can be lost to the atmosphere as nitrous oxide, or it can be transformed into nitrate from where it can leach into groundwater. But there are actions farmers can take now to understand and address their impact on climate change. Farmers can reduce the amount of nitrous oxide emissions by reducing the amount of nitrogen excreted by animals. This can be done by ensuring that animals' diets aren't too rich in protein, as any excess protein is excreted as nitrogen. Plants are also important players, as they absorb nitrogen in order to grow. Farmers must ensure that plants utilise as much nitrogen for growth as possible, so that any excess doesn't turn into nitrous oxide. Finally, farmers can mitigate or offset the warming effect of nitrous oxide emissions through carbon sequestration. There are currently new technologies in development that may help with nitrous oxide management. However, in the interim, understanding your farm's emissions is the first step. We hope this video helps farmers in Chile, New Zealand, and around the world. Agriculture is crucial for food security and lifting millions of people out of poverty. It has adapted to challenges before, and we're confident that it can adapt to the challenges of climate change. The first step is understanding how.